Hi, I'm Marie Lewis. I am the mother of two beautiful children. One who is a recent college graduate from Columbia College. The second is a graduating high school senior, class of 2020 from Homewood Flossmoor. I am the daughter of two retired CPS teachers and the oldest of three from a Black Catholic family. That'll mean more as this goes along. I am an employee of the Jewish United Fund, as well as a student here at National Louis University, studying applied communications with a focus on urban and public policy. This assignment was a little bit challenging for me because I had no object that represented me, and then I realized I was not as fascinating as I thought. The only thing that I could share with you to introduce to you who I am is my faith walk, more focusing on my time in the Nation of Islam. I'll share a brief history. The Nation, as it's called, was founded in 1930 by a man by the name of Elijah Poole, who later changed his name to Muhammad. He said he met a man that came from Mecca to share a teaching of Islam to the black man and woman in America. From there, Elijah Muhammad founded temples all across the country. When he passed away in 1975, there was a rift between his family and those who felt that they should take up the mantle of the nation. In 1981, that mantle was picked up by Minister Louis Farrakhan. Now you may ask, how would a girl with a Catholic upbringing end up in such a so-called radical place? In short, it was the Catholic Church. Around the late 1980s, there was a movement in hip-hop called conscious rap. Groups like Public Enemy, Poor Righteous Teachers, and the X-Clan were sharing lyrics of what was going on to the black man and woman in America. In my late teens and early 20s, I was learning who I was as a black woman in America and felt a call to social justice. The Catholic Church that I attended fit that criteria. We protested liquor stores and drug paraphernalia that were targeting our youth, as well as targeting cigarette billboards that blanketed our community. When the Minister Louis Farrakhan came to my church in 1989, his message fit more of what I was looking for. I heard the lyrics of those rappers in his message. On Palm Sunday of 1990, after church, I ran into a man who asked me if I wanted to attend a meeting. Of course, I said. That day, I went to a meeting at the National Center, and I did not leave until I was put out. More on that later. In that meeting, the late Abdul Wali Muhammad, who was the editor of the Final Call, spoke of Elijah Muhammad's teachings of doing for self, which basically meant to be able to have our own, to be able to serve our black community. The message was so compelling. I started to go back every Sunday to the point where I eventually stopped going to church. I started to attend women's classes and then eventually had taken steps to join the Nation and fell right into place. During my time in the Nation, I wore many hats. I went through an extensive training to become what is called the Vanguard, which was an elite group of women that were tasked on serving and securing the minister and his family. I also worked as a secretary at the National Center under different leaders. And I also had the chance to travel with the minister and his family across the country, and was also a part of the work that brought the Million Man March to Washington, D.C. in 1995. The Bible tells us that there is a time and a season for everything. The time that I spent in the Nation was exactly what I needed. That military discipline that I received, and also a sense of sisterhood, which I still have to this day. Going back to the discipline, there are rules in the Nation, and one which I broke, which led me to be put out. During the time that you're out, you're supposed to reflect on what you did to be able to come back as a better person. In the end, I didn't return. Will I ever? Probably not. There are a lot of things that I learned about myself that no longer fits the teachings of the Nation. At this time, I would ask you if you have any questions, but since this is pre-recorded, I'm going to move on. So I'll end with this. God, the higher power, or whatever he is called, knows exactly what we need. And I received what I needed during that time that I spent in the nation. It was actually a blessing. I learned about who I was as a woman of faith and understand everyone's journey to enlightenment takes a different path. All you have to do is believe. Thank you.